Okay, so enough education for one day. It's time for lunch and some rosé. We're here with Brian, part of the event staff, and his job is to manage this unruly crowd of wine gluttons, wine drinkers.
The problem is that they've sold out, and so there's a lot of people who get into the other tastings and then they want to get into the lunch, and they don't have tickets, and so they have all kinds of scam stories and such. So
So they're trying to sneak in, basically, work their way around the side or whatever.
very definitely, yes.
And these guys look pretty hungry, too, so I think that they've been drinking wine for the last couple hours, so I think they're about ready to get in. You got a lot of people trying to get in early as well?
Oh yes, and they all have a story, and you just got to just be polite to them and tell them no.
What are you fixing for me, Larry?
Lamb and vegetables.
I was noticing your tag there. It says Larry, HDR volunteer. Volunteer is not your last name, is it?
No, sir. Skatuskiewicz.
Nice one, Eric. So after some great food and dessert, it's time for the library tasting and barrel preview before tomorrow's barrel auction.
This is, without a doubt, the most international event that we've had. That's the great thing to see this year is there's just so many people who are from France, from Spain, from Chile, from Australia, Mexico. It's just an incredible international event, which is something we've all dreamed that one day it would happen, and it's finally here.
I've been reading about your wines, and everybody I talk to absolutely loves them, but you're producing really small quantities right now. Can you talk a little bit about maybe some of the stuff you're doing?
Well, yes, these are. This is a small production of wines, and I prefer to stay in the cellar, close to the wine. Try to give it a lot of love and passion, so it tastes great, and we'll see what happens.
Now you're here at Hospice du Rhone, but you also make Pinot Noir.
I'm definitely a Pinot Noir guy. I was born this way, so I cannot help it. And the way I see it, Pinot Noir is like pursuing a great romance, and the Syrah is like cultivating a great friendship.
2003 was a little different from the previous vintage, which was our first from the vineyard, although the vineyard was planted in 1995. It's more concentrated, it's richer and more lifted, but it's interesting, in the last 5-6 years we've had the 4 worst droughts in Australia's history. So what we try to do is just let the vineyard do what it will, rather than running away and trying to make sure that we just produce big, massive, and I call them somewhat disparagingly buffet wines, because we want to capture the elegance and the concentration in the vineyard and make sure that comes to a position where we're making wine that people can drink.
Well, we love Paso Robles, and I don't know, maybe for me personally, kind of because of where Bordeaux prices are at, I'm buying a lot of wines that are Rhone style, and it's a great way to taste everything. What I personally have liked so far is trying some of these varietals on their own, because they're normally blended. So I've had some Grenache, which I know Villa Creek, which is a new winery, they're doing that on its own, so I get to taste it on its own. Roussanne was a white varietal, which is normally blended as well, trying that out on its own.
All right, we're here with Vicki Carroll, and Vicki is one of the organizers of Hospice du Rhone. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. It's great to be here, and good to have you guys here too.
So we're already about halfway through the event. How's it going?
The event is going great. Very well organized. I thank my staff for doing such a great job, and great wineries here. Seminars went off very well, and the attendees are appreciative, and the wines taste good. All is well.
All right, we're here with Rich and Pete from FedEx, and you guys are sponsors of this year's event. I know you were sponsors last year, too.
And next year we're coming back.
Uh-oh. Why the heck are you sponsoring an event like this? What's it mean to FedEx?
For FedEx, it's a big deal. We're a huge supporter of the wine industry, and obviously, once you drink and you decide I like this, you want to buy some, so you need somebody to ship it to you. That's where we've come in.
What's clearly happening with transportation of wine in the U.S., more direct consumer shipments are happening, but at events like this where you're bringing in the international producers who have those same transportation needs, but also those same desires of the California producers, to have that wine come to a consumer in Europe and Asia and Latin America, just opens up another market for FedEx to bring the wine there.
We have an old vines and vineyard that we own, that we sell. Then we manage about 350 acres, a lot of Pinot, but a lot of Syrah. And starting to do some Grenache, some Petite Syrah. We're even looking at T-butting some things over to more Ved. We're just, the whole Rhône thing seems to be growing, and I think people are wanting to move away from just Syrah maybe and do some of the other varietals, and then even go back to the old school way of blending.
I love blends. I love them better than I like a lot of the varietals of the Rhône varietals. I mean, Grenache blended with Syrah, with Mourvedre, etc. They fill in the holes on wines beautifully, and I think those actually are wines that they're more, how shall I phrase this? They give a lot of pleasure, and that's what wine's about.
Well, that wraps up day one at Hospice du Rhone. It was a lot of hard work, so of course we had to go out, drink some wine, and barbecue late into the night.
Opposite kind of